Now once you find a web page that you want to visit over and over again, instead of coming up here and typing in the website address every time, just type it in once and then add it to your Links Toolbar. If you don't see your Links Toolbar, for example, if I right click and I uncheck it, it disappears. Then you want to come up here and find a blank area and right click and then go ahead and check links and it pops it open. And you can see I already have a few web pages including videotrainingpro.com that if I want to go to it I can just click on it, it takes me right to it. So to add Dreamforce here as one of the shortcuts up here on my Links Toolbar, all I have to do is come over and click on the star with the plus sign. I want to add this to my favorites, this web page. Click on it, click on add to favorites, comes up. Now by default you may have it going to your favorites folder here. That means I'd have to click on the star, go down and click it to go to the web page. That takes 2 clicks. I want it to be on my Links Toolbar, so it just takes 1 click and it takes me right to Dreamforce. So I want to click on the drop down arrow and take it to my links folder, which is the Links Toolbar. Okay. Then down below, it's got such a long name here. Let's go ahead and just say add and see what happens. Wow, look at that. Okay, that's a long name. So if you don't like it, you can always right click and rename it and make sure you delete everything. Well, that may take a little while. And then give it your own name, D-Force, and then when you're finished go ahead and click OK. That's a little bit easier to manage. That way I can fit more links here on my link toolbar. In fact, if it gets too full, it'll bunch up over here and I'll have a drop down arrow that will list more, and that's okay. Just easier for me if I don't have to click twice and I can keep the names pretty short. So to test it out, let's go to the Google tab, click on Dreamforce. There we go. I'll click back so I can go back to Google here. Next, I want to show you how to add all your favorite web pages to a group. For example, I've got 3 web pages open here and I really like it and I want to categorize them. Put them all into a single folder in my favorites group here as an actual group. To do that, once you have all your web pages open, just come over here, click on the Add to Favorites drop down arrow and say Add Tab Group to Favorites. All that does is it says go ahead and give the name of your group. It's actually going to create a folder and we can call it My Spiffy Favorites or whatever. And then when you're finished, I just want to create it in the favorites. I don't want it up on my links toolbar here, and then click add. So that means when I click on my favorites drop down arrow, there's my Spiffy group that when I expand it will list the 3 web pages here within that folder. So it just took 3 web pages and put them in a folder here. That's all. That's what it means to add your tabs to a group. Now as you just saw, when I click on the favorites group, I've got my links, I have my fun folder. When I click on that, there's nothing in it. Otherwise, if there was, it would open up and display what's ever in it. So let's say I want to move some of these around and put them in the fun folder, be able to rename them. In other words, I want to organize them. Well, to organize it, you can click off in a blank area first, click on your Add to Favorites and go down to Organize Favorites. Opens up a window here, and let's see, it's my Spiffy folder. When I click on it, I have 3 web pages here. And I want to be able to add this web page, let's say, into the fun folder. So select it, go ahead and click on Move. Where do I want to move it? The fun folder. Click OK, and it goes to the fun folder. Or if you're good at this, you can actually click and drag it, and you can put it in between folders, or click and drag it and dump it right on top of the fun folder. If you prefer that, go for it. You can also create new additional folders here, new folder. You want to be careful about where you click new folder. Click off in a blank area, it's there. I don't want the new folder there, so I'll select it and delete it. Click yes. In other words, when I create a new folder, I may want to click up here or click off in a blank area and click new folder. It's going to add it as a subfolder to any of the folders I currently have open. So probably now is not a good time to create that new folder if I want it to be a main folder, not a subfolder to one of these other folders here. Okay. However, remember the click and drag? If I click and drag the new folder and I drag it up so it's a line above the fun folder and let go, it's not a subfolder to anything and it's all at the same level. You can see they're all equal. Go ahead and select it and I'll delete it because I don't want to junk it up here. Close out. You can also do it from the favorites here. When you open up the fun folder, you can actually click and drag that and dump it back down on the My Spiffy. So when you click it open again, it's down under My Spiffy folder. And if this keeps closing on you, you can always pin it back, pin the favorites so it sticks right there so you can click and drag. And then when you're done clicking and dragging, it doesn't collapse, it stays open. When you're finished, you can go ahead and close out of it again. A home page is the default page you go to. Like for example, when you open up Internet Explorer, every time I open it up, my home page or my default page is Google here. So if I close out, close all the tabs, I open up Internet Explorer, that's the default page or the home page. Or if I go to another website, click on one of the links here, Video Training Pro, and want to go back to my home page, I click on the home button and it takes me back to Google, again the default page. If you want to go ahead and set up your home pages, for example, like maybe now my home page is videotrainingpro.com, go to the page or the website, and then come up here to the Home button, click on the drop-down arrow next to it, and say you want to add or change your home page. In my case, I may be changing the home page by saying using this web page as my only home page, or I could have 2 home pages or 2 default pages, meaning that if I add this page to my home page tabs, click yes, so when I close out or I click on the Home button, it opens up Google, my first home page, and then my second home page, which is videotrainingpro.com. If I don't like that, click on the drop down arrow and I can remove one of my home pages, videotrainingpro.com, click on it. Yes, I want to remove it. So when I close out and I click home again, it just takes me to the Google. It doesn't bring up my second home page, which was videotrainingpro.com. Thanks for watching. Hey, as a quick reminder, if you like my video, please give it a thumbs up. You can also click on me and subscribe to my channel, get notified of the latest videos, and for only $2 a month, you can have access to all my Microsoft Office training videos.